Hey everyone, it's Tori and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. For today's video, I'm sharing my October 2021 bullet journal plan with me. I'm starting out by sharing my September bullet journal spreads, which to some of you may be a surprise if you aren't already following my Instagram, which is at Creative Minds Coffee Grinds. I've been posting a lot over there, but unfortunately I did not have time to edit and upload my September plan with me last month because I've been super busy with finishing my master's program and adjusting to my life as a new teacher and all that kind of stuff, so I'm very excited to start posting videos again. You can see my September theme was this really cute ostrich theme, which I did for my boyfriend's birthday because he loves ostriches, and I used my acrylograph pens from Archer and Olive as well as these stickers from Bright and Bujo. And this month's theme for October, I'm doing a quart of thorns and roses. I am currently obsessed with this book series by Sarah J. Maas, or Moss, I am not entirely sure, but is seriously such an amazing series that I highly recommend. Supplies-wise, I'm only using a couple pens for this theme because I wanted to keep it mostly black and white, as I have a track record of my October themes being black and white and book related. So I just have my 05 and 005 Sakura Pigma Micron pens, my Tombow dual brush pen in N89, the circle stencil that I use a ton, and there's a couple more supplies that I end up using later on in the video, but everything will be linked down below if you're interested. As always, I'm starting out with my cover page, and I wanted the headers for this theme to be the same as the font titles in the book series, so I just wrote a quart of October to go along with the book series titles, and I actually end up going over this later because I wasn't completely in love with how this came out. But basically, I'm using my 05 micron to outline the letters, and then I use my 005 micron to make these kind of like hash marks, I guess, in the letters. I didn't want to completely color them in because I thought it would be too bold, but this is what I settled on. After some finishing touches on the header and covering up some mistakes with my Uniball Signal white gel pen, I'm starting on this doodle of bat wings now, which is a more prominent thing in the second book and the series and beyond. But if you're not familiar with the books, the series revolves around fairies and like this land of high fae and lesser fairies and high lords and that kind of stuff. And some of the fairies have these huge membranous bat style wings, and if you are familiar with the series, they often talk about the wingspan, and if you know, you know. Next, I have this top border of some strands of thorns, which I thought went well with the theme, hence a quart of thorns and roses. And I also have this little rose in the middle of the O in October, but again, I'm covering this up and changing the cover page title later. Moving on to the next page, I made a map of Prythian, which is the fictional land of fairies in the book series. So I just found a copy of the map on Google Images, printed it out, and then covered the back of the page with pencil, just kind of like coloring in the entire thing, just scribbling. And then I went over the map lines onto my bullet journal page with my pencil, which is a quick and easy transfer process if you don't want to spend time trying to copy something. And I probably did an awful job of explaining that now that I think about it, but I tried my best. As for the lines you just saw me draw dividing the land, these are the 7 courts of Prythian, which are ruled by a specific High Lord. So from bottom to top, there's the human lands, the spring court, autumn and summer courts, the winter court, dawn court, day court, and the night court is the largest at the top. The island off to the side is called Highburn, which is still ruled by fairies but isn't part of Prythian, I don't think, and that's not so much talked about in the first book as it is in other books. By the way, I'm well aware that not everybody who clicks on this video or who is in my bullet journal audience has read this series, and I'm super sorry it isn't a really relatable bullet journal theme. But as I said before, in bullet journal October themes in the past, I've been focusing on book series that I love in the color scheme of black and white. So for 2020, I did a Divergent theme, and in 2019, I did a Harry Potter theme, which you can definitely see on my Instagram if you are curious. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a difficult video to understand if you're not familiar with the books, and if you haven't read the books and want to, I will try not to give too many spoilers throughout this video. But anyways, enough rambling, and we are moving on to my habit tracker. I'm doing kind of a combined 2-page spread of my habits and anxiety tracker this month to switch things up a little bit. So on the top I have 9 different grids, I think it's 9. Yeah, I end up doing 9 for habits to track this month, which are going to be generally the same as last month because I'm a literal creature of habit and I just keep doing the same habits always. Again, I'm sticking with the same headers as the cover with my outline in my Micron 05 and the hatch marks in my 005 on the inside. And then at the top of the right page, I'm carrying over that same Thorns border from the cover page to fill in the space. At the bottom of the spread, I ordered these stickers from an Etsy shop called PansyPortraits, I'm pretty sure, which I will have linked down below. And I loved that these were just a whole bunch of character stickers from the book, so I knew I definitely wanted to include them in this plan with me. It was a little tough trying to find a Court of Thorns and Roses stickers, especially of the characters, because at this point in time there's only a book series, and the author actually announced that she is writing a script to a Court of Thorns and Roses TV show in March with the writer from Outlander, which will eventually be on Hulu, and I'm honestly so excited, like the most excited I've ever been about a new show. It's going to be so good, I can feel it. So from left to right at the bottom of this spread, I put the characters Amryn, Cassian, Farah, Rhysand, Mor, and Azriel. And if anybody is going to come at me in the comments saying I'm pronouncing Rhys's name wrong, I listened to the audiobook version, and in the first book she pronounces it Rhysand, but in all the books after that it's Rhysand, but I know a lot of people pronounce it Rice or Rhysand, so please let me know in the comments below if you have read this book, the physical copy, and how you pronounce his name, because I am very curious, but I personally pronounce it Rhysand. I used this star stencil for my anxiety tracker this month, and it's from the same pack as my circle stencil, so this will also be linked down below. And I have a key for my anxiety down the right side. And if you're curious on how I use my anxiety tracker, I will link a video in the cards and down below if you want to check it out, because to this day I think it's one of my most informative videos on my channel, so definitely go look at it if you're curious. I decided on the stars because number 1, they're quick, easy, and small to doodle around these stickers, and number 2, I wanted an ode to Valaris, which is the city of starlight in the Night Court. I'm just numbering all my stars now, and I realized I added one too many, but that is okay, I'm just going to leave it. My key from top to bottom means no anxiety, a little anxiety, a lot of anxiety, and a panic attack, and I only had room for faces. I couldn't actually write the words, but I know what it means, so that's really all that matters. And that is my habit tracker and anxiety tracker done. I actually go back and add in the habit titles later, so you will see that towards the end of the video. Moving on to my expenses log, it's really nothing new. It's the exact same as it's always been since April, but for those of you who aren't familiar with my expenses log, on the left I have my incoming money like paychecks or when people Venmo me or anything like that. The bottom is my to buy list for anything I need to remember to purchase throughout the month. And my outgoing expenses is the long column on the left. My incoming money is divided up into date, amount, and description, and then my outgoing money is divided into amount, whether I used cash or my credit or debit card, and then a description of the purchase. As for my gratitude log, it again has not changed since April. It's the exact same. Basically, I just write one thing that I'm grateful for every single day in each box, and I try to vary the font styles from day to day to keep it interesting as well. The hand doodle at the bottom is Farah's hand in the book when she gets a tattoo from making a deal with Reese under the mountain. A few of the doodles I used throughout this Plan With Me were actually inspired by some more stickers I found on Etsy when I was on that sticker hunt for character stickers, and I will actually have that shop linked down below as well. Moving on to my 2 lines a day spread, which is just a place for me to journal and memory keep every single day. I have an arrow at the top left corner to symbolize Farah's past when she often had to hunt for food for her family, and it can even be seen as an ash arrow, which is the only way to kill a fairy. And I also doodled an Illyrian blade at the top right to represent her strength and training in future books from the Illyrian warriors, and these 2 weapons are very, very important throughout the series. I found these moon phase stickers from StickWithKate on Etsy, which is another one of Farah's tattoos from the 3rd book, I believe, but I thought it would be a great way to fill up the space at the bottom of this spread and just add in a little bit more of an extra element. Last but not least, we have my October monthly review, which again doesn't seem to change from month to month. I have space to write my best memory and some highlights of the month, as well as a place to put a Polaroid from the month that I print out on my Instax printer. At the bottom of the left page, I have a space to write what I'm excited for and nervous about for the next month. And then on the right page, I have all my monthly favorites like TV show or movie, YouTube channel, song, book, and food I've been loving all month long. In the corner, I doodled this mask, which is very important in the 1st book because the entire spring court had to wear these masks for 50 years because they were stuck on their face due to a blight or a sickness over the land. And then at the bottom of the page, I put my extra stickers, which are Elaine, Lucian, and Nesta from left to right. As I said before in the beginning of this video, I'm going to go back to the cover page to change the header. So I used my Uniball Signo white gel pen to rewrite the title on this ripped black dot grid paper from my Archer and Olive notepad, and I just pasted it in with this Tombow tape runner. I honestly wish I did this with all the headers throughout this plan with me, but it would have taken way too much time, so I just left everything else as is. But I'm in love with how the cover page looks now, so I'm really glad I fixed it. I also quickly went in with my white jelly roll pen to write over these black Tombow Furonosuke lines for the titles of my habits. And that is it for the final adjustments. We are now entering the final flip through portion of today's video, and I want to encourage you all to comment down below what your bullet journal theme is for this October, as well as what is your favorite spread from this plan with me. So I actually did a couple spreads off camera before filming this plan with me that I still wanted to share in this video, which is a quote page of my favorite quote in the series, which was from Reese and Farah, "To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered." And I also experimented with a mood board this month full of fan art that I am absolutely obsessed with. I will leave the artist on the screen right here, and another quote from Tamlin DeFaro, which is, "I love you, thorns and all." I also did a 2-page spread of a brain dump because I found that I use my brain dump a lot from September, so I'm definitely going to need one for October. And at the bottom, I have all the crests, I guess, or logos from the 7 courts. So we have the winter court, spring court, summer court, autumn court, day court, dawn court, and night court at the bottom. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe while you're here. Also, don't forget to check out my bullet journal Instagram at Creative Minds Coffee Grinds for more bullet journal content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!